Welcome back, Kryptonians, to the Chart Experts continuing coverage of Bitcoin and the crypto charts. And a happy new year. Oh, it's going to be a fantastic new year. I can feel it. So we have started the new year still within this larger distribution. Now for you Wyckoff lovers out there, just thought I'd just update this chart with a few of the Wyckoff features for you. So now obviously Wyckoff is open to interpretation, but generally we are looking at this as a larger distribution that began from January 21 all the way to right now really, and we saw this particular high as the wave 5 high as delineated on this chart. Since then we've had some secondary tests. We've had another secondary test and an up thrust. Right, so the whole point of this basically is to allow for the whales to get rid of their positions really, to sell into the people that desperately want Bitcoin to move on to new all-time highs, and what we are clearly seeing if we are reading the chart is that the whales have been basically selling into all of this enthusiasm. So so that's the reason why we've had this false type of breakout, this up thrust after distribution. So this was major distribution that took price from 64k down to 30k. If that's not distribution, then I don't know, what is. Really, it's I think it was a 55% fall or something along those lines. So major distribution signal there. Price is then allowed to go up higher, and this is basically just to trap longs. So these spikes above this level here have basically trapped these 100k seekers, 200, 300k seekers even. I even saw millions. So this was clearly a very strong distribution occurring. Price was then allowed to go higher, and remember that in essence, when whales want to sell, they don't want to sell at low prices. When Bitcoin falls down to 30k, that's a loss for them. Yeah, so they are naturally going to want for price to go higher, so they can sell into that price. Now, in this instance, they allowed, they maybe moved price higher and higher, simply to sell into it. So we had lots of selling occurring, selling occurring, selling occurring as the price moved higher. And then here this is very thin volume as price moves higher. If you were to look at these charts here, let's look at the volume here. So very thin volume, price just kept on rising. So this price was being marked up to allow those sell orders to be fulfilled at top dollar really. So whales are very, very happy right now. They've sold most of their positions, most of their long positions, into irrational exuberance, and they are sitting pretty right now. Now, in terms of these longs here that are trapped, so let's just put that in here. So these are our trapped longs now. And let's So these are the trapped longs. Let's put that in. Now they would desperately like for an opportunity to well, they may hold on, which would be a choice, or they may be looking for price to come back higher so they can actually get out of their long positions with a small loss, most likely. Okay, but it's likely that we're not going to see price go above this particular 53k high. It's possible it could go higher to 54k. We have to allow for it, but it's not in the interests of the whales to allow these trapped longs to get out of their positions, because they are going to be providing the fuel, and they are likely to panic sell when price goes below, for example, 40k and below 30k. Okay, so these longs here are in a great position as far as the market makers are concerned. Those guys, they deliberately trapped these longs here, and they want them to eventually sell out, and they'll be holding a nice big bag for when these longs sell out of their positions, really, at very discounted levels. So right now we're looking for this price here currently to break down first to 42k and then lower. Now remember that anyone who took a long position here most likely placed their sell stop below this level, so as price moves lower, those longs also will be forced to, well, they've got stops there, so most likely their stops are going to be triggered, and they'll sell, and whoever wants to buy at these levels will then grab those discounted bargains as well. There are also likely to be longs underneath this level here, so let's just mark that too. Excuse me. Okay, so we've got a whole series of well, there's going to be longs underneath this 42k level here, because this was a spike up. There may be people who think that the market's going to move higher. If the market moves higher, then these trapped longs will be out, let out of their positions, so unlikely. We're likely to see price move lower. Okay, so we've got a perfect setup really for people who want to accumulate, or whales with big money, we're talking billions. They have a perfect setup here. They've got trap longs there, they've got people who will sell out of their positions there, and there, and underneath here, and all they need to do is to basically move price, and then trigger all of these buyers to then sell their positions. So now we have to look at, okay, right, how long is this distribution likely to last? Well, that's up to the market makers, but we can have an indication based on the current structure, the previous corrections that we've seen within this larger distribution. So let's have a look at that. because we don't want to be waiting forever, do we? Generally, all traders are impatient. Okay, so let's have a look at this. This was probably the largest counter trend move. So from this low up to here, okay, that one was quite large. This one probably not as much. Let's just have a measure. Okay, don't do that. Okay, so let's take that. Yeah, so that was probably the largest distribution that we saw. So look here. Yeah, so okay, right, so that one as we thought was the largest counter trend move. So let's put that here, and we can tell that most likely this distribution is most likely over. It probably ended on what was that, 27th of December. So most likely this distribution, well, this counter trend move I should say, is over. It probably ended right there, after which we saw quite a strong move down, which is likely to continue lower. Okay, so this is where we are right now, and let's get rid of that. Okay, so this is now the last video. Okay, right, so let's just put that here for the moment. Okay, right, so this distribution most likely ended there, based on the fact that we've seen corrections in the past in this larger Wyckoff distribution, and most likely we are going to see a strong continuation down. Now I've marked this as a wave 1 going down, and then since this is the first major correction that we've had, a wave 2. And we are likely to see an acceleration in terms of momentum. Now you may have noted already, hopefully, if you study charts, that the momentum has already increased substantially. So we saw this particular move up, and that was at a 65-degree angle. Okay, and then we had this particular move up, 62% angle, and then we had this move down, which was far more rapid. Okay, 74% angle to go down. So this really just illustrates the fact that when larger corrections occur, it's usually, you know, the escalator up and the elevator down, and that's what we're seeing here really right now. So this move down, it has already been a lot sharper than what we've seen in terms of price moving upwards. So if you compare that wave to that wave, this wave down has been sharper already, and it's most likely to get sharper still. So even if we were to see, for example, another 74 or 70% down, just moving price like that, you know, that's going to scare a good few people really into panic selling their positions. And again, we are expecting for these longs, whoever took these longs, upwards, they are likely to sell out of their positions as their sell stops get triggered. Okay, so that's it for this particular video. I hope you like this type of analysis. I hope it's been helpful to you, and I hope together we are very likely to have a wonderful new year. This market really, it presents its best opportunities when it presents a sale, really, and that's what we're looking for. We are looking for the sell signs to go up in Bitcoin, and that would be a fantastic opportunity for the believers in this particular market to then accumulate at discounted prices, really. Now longer term, obviously, if you are, for example, one of these trapped longs, we can't offer you advice, sadly, but you know, it may be a good idea to not, well, if you're a hodler and you're looking for if you're looking on a much larger time horizon, i.e. years, then certainly, if we are seeing this as a wave one, for example, in terms of cycle analysis and Elliott wave analysis, if this is a wave one, and let's say you bought at the top of wave one, then as long as you're willing to ride out a wave two, which could be deep, then you know, people, well, even with the 20k high, people held that position and then profited when price went higher. So you know, if you're of that mindset, then you know, you may want to continue as you are, because longer term, most bull markets do tend to rescue those type of positions, but it may involve holding your position for 1 to 3 or 4 years in order to then see price move higher. So that should be an indication of, you know, that should give you a good idea of how we see the market right now. Patience is hard to come by nowadays, however, so it's a difficult game if you're hoping to simply hodl. Now it may be made doubly difficult because we are, as we'd forecast months and months ago, before anybody else really, we forecast that most of the wider markets, including the US indices, were likely to sell off, and because they'd hit their our energy targets, and they're not just our targets, obviously. Our energy targets are based on where we think that the whales are going to start taking profits. So those positions were met. We envisaged that the whales in the wider US indices were likely to start taking significant profits, and that's what we're seeing right now within Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and so on. We're likely to see further sell-off occur, and it could be quite, well, it's most likely to be significant selling, and that will also induce people in long positions to sell out of their positions at substantial discounts, and that could that could add to the panic selling within Bitcoin and the wider crypto market, which as we're seeing within the NFT space is getting well, you have to laugh really sometimes. The things that are being bought in that market for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds, it's dollars. It's quite worrying to see, really. But hey, people have money to waste. So hey, this is Asim at the Chart Expert. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, please give the video a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. Wishing you every success. Take care of yourself and your crypto. Till next time. Bye bye.